Yeah.
Oh, I like your eyeshadow. That color's beautiful on you. Can we get that on?
But I'm not clear about what I'm supposed to say.
Just something, invite the topic.
You want me to just start it?
So we've been having a lot of discussions about leadership. You've been talking a little bit about your identity. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Yeah, it's been difficult to think of myself as a leader, only because I think about two cultural identities I have. One is from my family, and in my culture, leadership comes from being experienced and being wise and elder. And I just never felt like, I haven't gotten there. I'm getting closer because I'm getting older. But the other one also comes from my bicultural identity because I was raised here in the States. And continually from my childhood, people ask me, well, where are you from? Where are you from? And it was difficult for me because I'm from here. So I always felt a little bit outside and not safe to make myself vulnerable and put myself out there. And I think that prevented me for a long time to even think of myself as a leader.
So how do you think you got past that and to take on that leadership role?
I think starting to work with children is what really did that. Mm-hmm. And I hate to sound so self-serving, but in some ways I experienced so much pain of not feeling like I could use my voice. Mm-hmm. And when I worked with young children, I could see this purity that they hadn't really experienced at all, that life will come to them. And so much emphasis was on self-esteem, and I always kind of felt like, okay, but what is that, and where does it come from? And my focus has always been about resilience, mm-hmm. so that you can have a sense of who you are and be able to be resilient to kind of bounce back, because you're going to get pushed down, that's life. But to bounce back and, use your voice and make yourself vulnerable, because you know that you can bounce back. So that's kind of how I see it. But what about you? I'm curious about how you came to be a leader and think of yourself as that way.
Okay, stop for just a minute so I can get over here.
Do you want to see the notes, or I'll tell you? Always felt reluctant, responsible, sibling, brought that to my teaching. And then you talked a little bit about when you were assigned leadership roles. And culturally not old enough. You didn't mention that part, so you won't resonate in the same way about it. But
No, I didn't say wise, did I?
No, you didn't.
I just said you had to be experienced and old enough.
Yeah, but she can just make that, I so resonate
Yeah.
with that kind
Yeah.
of point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think that I've always been a reluctant leader. Growing up, I was the oldest of 5, and I was very responsible for my younger siblings, so I was the leader of the kids in my family. And I think that I brought that kind of confidence to my teaching roles, and through my career, I've been assigned leadership roles, so I had to take that on. But I've always felt uncomfortable. When you said about culturally how you have to be an elder to really be a leader, to be wise, I really resonate with that because it's the same in my family and how my family views leadership, and I don't feel like I'm old enough yet, so I grapple with that, thinking that, I'm still too young, I'm not wise enough, I haven't had enough experience, but I feel like I'm getting there, mm-hmm. that, eventually that will be for me to take on.
Well, how do you work through that discomfort, of...
I think that talking with other people, and I think that I just have mentors, and I surround myself with people that push me to do that, so it becomes like not a choice, and I really feel like I want to be responsible to that, because I think other people see me as leaders, right. So I want to take that on and not disappoint them and not disappoint myself in taking on those leadership roles.
I really relate to you because I think that, neither of us think that leadership is a role. It's more about advocating and doing what we feel is important and needed in the field. Mm-hmm. And it's an action. it's an act of leadership rather than being a leader.
Right.
And that's where the discomfort comes from, is, giving yourself an identity of a leader
Mhm.
rather than really thinking, this is an act of leadership and it's important for me to do it.
Right. So kind of to look at it in a different way,
Mhm.
that I do feel a passion about being active and taking a role in that,
Yeah.
but it's something about that quote unquote the leadership word that makes me
Right.
feel uncomfortable. But I think that I'm coming to a place where I can be comfortable and really see it as being active and being an advocate is being a leader.
Yeah. I mean, I think these discussions are important. I
Mhm.
think that's what helps us to move past that and
Right.
re-envision that sense.
Mhm.
Thanks.